Cavalier faithful, welcome back on into the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel. Going over a quick upload with you here today. Have a couple of topics. First, let's start with some late breaking news tonight, Wednesday, February 19th. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Kobe Altman in the front office, have been active in the buyout market, and they have settled on Javonte Green. He's played 50 games with the Pelicans, 5.8 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, 0.9 assists per game, 44.6% from the field. If you're not familiar with what he looks like, here he is. Spent some time with Chicago. He actually had, pretty good numbers with Chicago. I believe it was a season ago. Some people saying this is the best talent that was available in the buyout market. Altman likes these guys like this. This is your Marcus Morris move of last year. A little bit younger. The guy who has played a little bit more this year, albeit for a terrible Pelican squad. It's interesting. A 6'5", another wing. You pretty much, I think a lot of people came to the consensus, hey, if we go to the buyout market, it's going to be a backup big. Altman, he defers. He goes with, basically another depth piece at wing. Somebody who's not going to play a key part as far as the run we make in the second half, but just interesting to see that you get an athletic guy, seems to be able to play defense, can score the basketball a little bit, round out your roster. My one thing I will say about this, I'm not opposed to the move. I think it's a fine move. I think it's, if you're going to get somebody in the buyout market, if it wasn't a backup big, this is the type of player you get. So I don't really have any commentary, one way or another on that. Like I said, I don't really think he's going to be a contributor that much. He's really just to round out the roster, basically a deep insurance bag piece for this roster. But I'm a little bit concerned about Okoro and Wade's health. I think that's what this says the most out of everything. And I could be overanalyzing this. I could be reading way too far deep into the situation. This might just be the type of player that Altman goes after in buyout markets. That's fine. You've seen spotty pieces of health. We know with Dean Wade for forever, since we've had the guy, since he's been in a Cavalier uniform, obviously. Okoro, it's that shoulder AC joint injury. That's a weird injury. He came back for a little bit. His shot didn't look right. Is his shot going to be cooked the rest of the year? He was shooting the ball very well. Dean Wade, you can't rely on Dean Wade. So, I get why people would be upset that we didn't get a backup big. Am I a little bit upset that we didn't get a backup big? Sure, but it's not like it's the end of the world. It's not like it's a head-scratching move. Seems like a good depth rotational add for Kobe Altman and company. Just got to monitor health moving forward, I think, with, some of our other wings, just to be on the safe side. All right, number two, with that being said, moving forward, keeping it going, I want to talk about second half expectations for our Cleveland Cavaliers, and I want to do this quickly. Let me pull up the standings for you guys here, and we'll get right into it. I think everyone is well aware. If you're following the team, 44-10, top of the East. We have a tie, share with the Thunder for the best record in the league. They're 44-10 as well. You have sole possession of first place. I'm expecting to finish first in the East. Let me put it to you guys like this. Throw away the record, throw away where we're going to finish in the standings. I want to see a marked difference of this team after the All-Star break than the past 3 seasons under JB. This group of guys in specific, last year the most, a little bit more or a little bit less, but 2 years ago still, this team really, really struggles out of the All-Star break. They just do. And you only have 28 games left. Currently have played 54 out of 82. I think that's quick math. So you only have so many opportunities here after the break to get into the right mindset to say, hey, the playoffs are right there. It's almost March. I want to see the philosophy change. I want to see Atkinson continue his coaching stature. At the end of the day, I could say we should be the 1 seed. I think that's common. Do I want to say that we should win, 60 64 games. I don't know. It doesn't, as long as you're the 1 seed, home court advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs. That's kind of like a minimum right now. I want the eye test. It's the eye test for me. Don't go into the playoffs on a losing streak. Don't be like 3-7 in your last 10, please. You haven't shown me any signs all year that would be the case, but like I said, this team has a track record. This team has a little bit of a proven history of post All-Star break collapses. It's been multiple seasons now. You have a new leader at the helm. You have a reinvigorated roster, people playing the best basketball of their career. I understand that. It's been an amazing season. Just keep it going. Number 2 for expectations, I think you got to say Eastern Conference Finals. I really, really do. And I'm going based off of what I think. If I was interviewing Donovan, if I was interviewing DG, if I was talking to Evan, they should all tell me that the expectation should be finals championships. I understand that. But if you really were talking to them, one-on-one, no cameras, no microphones, nothing, I'm assuming all those guys would say, yeah, we got to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe someone will even say they should make it to the finals. And you still got good teams. You still got Boston. You still got Oklahoma City in the West. Teams turn it up between now and in the playoffs, in playoff series. So it's a whole different beast out of the All-Star break. It's a whole different beast in the postseason. I'm curious to see how this team operates. I'm curious to see what their final record is. I'm curious to see the eye test, how they finish the season, last 5 games, last 10 games, last 15 games. Monitor the health. And yeah, we'll be back. We'll be looking back and seeing this and seeing if I'm right, seeing if people in the comments are right, and seeing, how it goes. Last thing here. So we talked Javonte Green. We talked expectations. I just want to talk for like 60 to 90 seconds about the All-Star break, the All-Star weekend. It's terrible. I'm half tempted to say get rid of it, but that is like a quitter loser's mentality, so I'm not going to do that. Here's the thing. Silver has to do something. This is a dime product. The NBA regular season, the All-Star break is a dime product. Here's my quick fixes. Tell me if I'm crazy in the comments below, please. East versus West. Fan vote. Keep the fan vote. Keep the coaches. Keep all that. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. Game to 100. I'm being serious. Game to 100. East versus West. Winner gets home court advantage in the finals. You have to bring something back. That like the NBA Players Association is not going to cry and whine about, because I know what I would try to do. Nobody would like it, and all the players would hate me, and it wouldn't get through because the NBA Players Association because the players run the league. No other league gets ran by the players like the NBA does. But I'm going for salaries. That's me. Oh, you got put a vote for the other festivities. NBA, the coaches or whatever, pick a pool of 10 guys for the dunk contest. Players, coaches, players pick 3, coaches pick 3, fans pick 3. 9 guys. John Morant, you got picked. You don't play? All right, we're taking 10%. You don't dunk? We're taking 10% of your salary. Sorry. It's a terrible product. It's horrible. It's all commercials. It's all nonsense. The tournament format was terrible this year. I don't want to even hear about that shit ever again. You have Wemby and Chris Paul trying to cheese and hack the skills challenge. I mean, what happened to the game, the sport, and the league that I loved? Still love, but it gets harder and harder every year. It's a joke. Like the 3-point contest is the coolest thing. Shout out to Darius and Donovan for winning the skills. Like proud of my guys. I got them ready. Love it. Put Cleveland on the map. But like the whole story of that wasn't even that the 2 guys from the Cavs took it home. It's that Wemby and Chris Paul were bullshitting around. Yeah, I just had to get that little rant off my chest. Financial ramifications, home court advantage in the finals, whatever. Silver's got to do something. He's terrible. He is the worst. I don't even know what his title is. He's the worst executive chairman of any league in the world. There's cricket leagues overseas that I would take their the head of those leagues and put them in the NBA. They probably do better than silver because it's terrible. Boring, terrible. TNT, TNT getting there and make it about yourselves. Like we're doing a 10-15 minute tribute for Vince Carter because it's his 25th anniversary of him in the dunk contest. I love Vince Carter. We don't care. I do not care. I could if you haven't seen Vince Carter dunk highlights, go on Google. Shaq, Kenny, Kevin Hart, Chuck. Draymond was the best part of the whole weekend. I hate Draymond. It's really, really bad. But let me know what you think down below. Javonte Green, second half expectations, all-star break. And yeah, with that all being said, appreciate you being the pulse of it all. Peace.